Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is presented by Cherokee Grove Casino and made possible by
Orchids is a premier manufacturer of private label tissue towel and napkins. If you've purchased private label tissue towel or napkins, there's a very, very good chance that it came from this facility. We went from being a regional player in our game to being a national distributor now. We're very, very proud of that fact. The employees here at Orchids are great. They provide us the best resource that we could ask for. We've got a lot of honest, hardworking people that really help us, progress as a company. Being inside the Mid-America Industrial Park is a huge advantage to a company like ours because there's a lot of resources that come with it. There's a lot of collaboration between the companies that reside here in the park. For those younger folks that are interested in a career, Orchids is a great place for them to look at. We provide great benefits, we provide a future, we provide opportunities.
Plus by viewers and members like you.
Coming up on Living Grand on Grand Lake, we'll swing by Grand Lake's newest dining hotspot with a spectacular view of a championship golf course. Plus, we'll meet the new president of the Grove Chamber and learn about the jam-packed season he has planned for Grand Lake. And you'll want to bib up as we join the Grove Rotary Club for a feast flown in fresh from Maine. All of these stories and more coming up on Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand.
This is Living Grand.
And this is Living Grand.
This is Living Grand.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Hello and welcome back to Living Grand on Grand Lake. I'm Christy Wallace. Over the past year, Patricia Island Country Club has expanded their offerings to ensure they remain one of the best golf communities in Oklahoma. With the addition of Mulligan's, their new award-winning restaurant, a stunning fitness center, and a well-trained staff attending to your every need, even non-golfers are flocking to this Grand Lake hotspot.
This used to be a big open space. It was a restaurant 20 years ago, and they ran it for a couple of years and then decided they didn't want to be in the restaurant business anymore. So it was fun. I mean, to see it come from an idea down to a piece of paper, down to some drawings, and then start doing the demo work and to finally get it open, it was pretty cool. It's been a fun experience. One of my partners, one of his friends, came up with the name, and we were just really throwing around all different kinds of names, and it seemed to fit. It's on the golf course, and really this is the second restaurant in this location, so it's technically a mulligan or a do-over. We just did it differently than they did it the first time. Well, for me, Grand Lake and fine dining don't really go together. You come to the lake to wear your flip-flops all weekend and just have a good time. So we wanted someplace that was more relaxed, more of a fun environment, a place to come have a couple drinks and get something to eat. We just wanted to be the fun place to come hang out.
I was planted in Wichita, but Andy and I have known each other probably since we were 6 years old, 7 years old. And all throughout school, all throughout high school, we were just always really, really close. A couple years ago, I got a phone call that said this deal might be coming together and if I would entertain the idea of moving down. So here we are.
He's our general manager, and he's got a ton of restaurant experience with Old Chicago and Twin Peaks, Fox and the Hound, those types of places. And we conned him and his wife and their 5 kids into moving down from Wichita. So that was probably the biggest factor in our success, was getting that done. And then we just took menu items from everywhere that we love to go eat, and we tried to just put them all in there together.
The Italian buffalo nachos that you had, my wife had actually stumbled onto it and thought that it looked really, really good. It's the wonton chips with chicken and buffalo sauce and mozzarella cheese and blue cheese crumbles and diced celery. And when you put it all together, that really light crispiness on that chip just really complements it all, and it ended up being a really good dish. The chicken and shrimp, it's something that we recently did. on our new menu. It's grilled chicken and grilled shrimp, or you can do it fried. At the summertime on the lake, we want to be a little healthier. Keep that in mind, so you have the best of both worlds. Everybody loves chicken, everybody loves shrimp. The raspberry chipotle chicken salads. It's a beautiful salad. It's craisins and goat cheese and just well presented pecans. You know, we blacken the chicken. It's got the chipotle raspberry, so it's a little sweet, a little spicy.
We call it a high-end sports bar is really what we were going for. Just not your average run-of-the-mill. We wanted the really comfortable tables and chairs, the environment that people really want to hang out in, and then a little better level of food than just a standard sports bar. It's been awesome. The people in the community have really jumped onto it, and they love what we're doing. And we've got a great patio with tons of golf course view. And for us, there's 500 or 600 homes total out here in this area that aren't more than 2 miles from us. So it just made sense for us to give those people somewhere to come. And the people that live out here on the golf course, shoot, they can take their golf cart up and go to dinner, and they can take their golf cart down to their boat and drop it in the water and go wherever they want. They can go 2 or 3 or 4 days and never get in a car.
Watching it change from where we started to where we are now has been tremendous. One thing that I like that's different here, the view. I mean, it's beautiful. It's well designed, well placed, and just the people. I mean, it's the people, my employees, and the people that I get to talk to every day that we service. It's really a blessing to be here.
When you swing by Mulligan's on your next visit to the lake, be sure and tell Andy that we sent you. From fried pickles and amazing hamburgers, steaks, and seafood, you'll love all they have to offer. Check their website or Facebook page for information on the specific nights the restaurant's open to the public, or better yet, join the club and become a member. The golf course is always open to the public, and they offer numerous golf, gambling, and overnight packages. Coming up, Grand Lake's newest resident, a man with a plan. A plan for a weekend full of fun for you and your crew, that is. When we return with more on Living Grand on Grand Lake.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake. This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Orchids is a premier manufacturer of private label tissue towel and napkins. If you've purchased private label tissue towel or napkins, there's a very, very good chance that it came from this facility. We went from being a regional player in our game to being a national distributor now. We're very, very proud of that fact. The employees here at Orchids are great. They provide us the best resource that we could ask for. We've got a lot of honest, hardworking people that really help us, progress as a company. Being inside the Mid-American Industrial Park is a huge advantage to a company like ours because there's a lot of resources that come with it. There's a lot of collaboration between the companies that reside here in the park. For those younger folks that are interested in a career, Orchids is a great place for them to look at. We provide great benefits, we provide a future, we provide opportunities.
Hello, our safety tip for today is what we're required to have in our vessel. Number 1 is a life jacket for every passenger in the boat. Make sure it fits everyone, and we have one for everybody that's going to be with us for that day. Another required item is a throw cushion, a simple device that we can throw to somebody that's in trouble in the water. If we are to have trouble on the water with our vessel, we are to have a simple paddle that would help us get to the shoreline or help us to get to a dock so we can wait for help. Along those lines, if we can't paddle to safety, we're required to have an anchor. We can simply throw this out and just wait for somebody to come and help us. If our vessel is to take on water, one of the required things to have is some type of a bailing device. It could be a simple bucket, an ice chest, or anything that we can use to bail water out of the boat if it begins taking on water. Another thing we always want to keep in the vessel is a fire extinguisher. Make sure that you inspect these periodically to make sure that they are up to date, and ready to go. Another item required to have on our vessel is a horn or a whistle. This gives us a way to signal if we need help. Last on our list of the required items to have on our vessel is properly working nighttime navigation lights. Have a safe day on the water.
And now, time for the Living Grand on Grand Lake events page. We've got a bib in just your size and a lobster to test any appetite. Mark your calendars for June 15th for the Grove Rotary Club's annual Lobsterfest. You choose lobster flown in fresh from Maine or beefy steak. Either way, you're sure to be full. There will be a silent auction as well, with all proceeds benefiting the community of Grove. Tickets are available at groverotary.org. Time to take the action to the links. Friday, June 22nd, the Grove Area Chamber of Commerce hosts its annual golf tournament at the beautiful Patricia Island Country Club. Lunch will be served on the green at 12:30 with a shotgun start at 1:30 p.m. Call the Chamber to find out more. 918-786-9079. GRDA invites all area anglers to the 12th annual Rush for the Brush, the award-winning project to enhance fish habitat on Grand Lake and Lake Hudson. The second Rush for Brush event for 2018 will be held at Wolf Creek Park in Grove on Saturday, June 23rd. All involved will build fish habitats that they can pick up at the end of the day for placement on Grand or Hudson Lakes. You must pre-register by either visiting grda.com or calling Jacqueline Jaggers at 918-256-0723. Well, that's it for now from the Living Grand on Grand Lake events page. Welcome back to Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake, presented by Cherokee Grove Casino.
On Grand Lake, we meet people all the time from Texas, Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, basically from all over the U.S. But our newest resident used to call Arkansas his home until Donnie Crane fell in love with Grand Lake and jumped in with both feet when he got the job of the president of the Grove Area Chamber of Commerce.
As a young kid, I got very interested in travel and tourism. First, as a person who enjoyed going and visiting new places, I enjoyed that aspect of it so much that I became more interested in the business aspect of it and what I could do to, maybe better market communities and areas to make them more attractive, where people would want to come and visit. Early in my career, I worked in the city of Conway, Arkansas, and got to work with Mayor David Kinley, who had a lot of experience, not just in travel and tourism, but in business and community and economic development. And he was really a mentor to me and helped me to be able to understand what could be when you could bring people together and resources together and make really great things happen. Well, I grew up in central Arkansas, about an hour west of Little Rock in the Ouachita Mountains. Very much a community that was outdoor oriented, so enjoyed fishing and hiking and doing a lot of the activities that we have here in Grand Lake. And so that was a really good fit for me. Also, I'm very comfortable in a smaller community setting, but then I've lived and worked in larger communities as well, and that's what I find so great about here in Grove and Grand Lake. There's such a variety of people and backgrounds and experiences that it has all of the advantages of a smaller community, but you never are bored. There's always lots of things going on, and there's lots of interesting people to get to meet and work with. One of the things that happened right before I got here, the community went through a vision process they call Grow with Grove, and really looked at the community from a 360 degree and had a good idea of where they want to go in all these different areas. Yes, they want to continue being a travel and tourism destination. They want to be a retirement destination, but we also want to grow the economy here to year-round full-time jobs. I was very impressed when I saw what had been done, and I noticed too it very well matched up with my ideas and thoughts of what I could see Grove and Grand Lake becoming and doing, and so that again made me feel really good about the fit that would be between me personally and professionally and being here in Grove and Grand Lake. It's a place I first visited about 10 years ago, and I thought it had tremendous potential economically, and then also would offer a great quality of life for my family and me. I think I would most like my new neighbors to know that I'm not coming into the community with my own agenda. I want to move the community's agenda forward. So the Chamber of Commerce, it truly is the voice of the business community. So we're the advocates for our local businesses and for the community as well. We work day in and day out in partnership with our businesses, with the city and county governments, and any group that we can work with to make Grove and Grand Lake a better place for people to want to live, work, play, and invest in. And so when we're doing our job correctly, it's good for the entire community. We're also doing a lot of new events and activities. One of the biggest that we're doing, and we're taking a proactive approach with the Chamber, is a new festival we're calling the Toes in the Grand Summer Kickoff Festival. And it's going to be Mid-America's largest trop rock music festival. We're a little bit different from a lot of communities. We really have a laid-back lake lifestyle, and it fits very well with that trop rock music. Well, I feel that I'm the most blessed person in Grove and Grand Lake because I do have such a satisfying job. A lot of the work that I do here has an impact on the entire community and people's lives. And we're really blessed to have such a wonderful community to promote. You know, we've got a lot of great things that are happening in our industrial park as well as all around the lake. And that's really, I think, a sign of a very healthy community.
Donnie has some great ideas for our little piece of heaven. He's already hosted several events that were enjoyed by residents and guests alike. We had a blast at Toes and Grand, and Donnie has many more exciting events and activities planned. With so much to do and so little time to do it in, turn to Living Grand on Grand Lake to learn more about the people, places, and features of Grand Lake. Visit our website at rsu.tv. There you can catch episodes from this year's season and those from past seasons as well. When we return, what was once known as the poor man's chicken during colonial times is now the star of the show at Grove Rotary Club's Lobsterfest.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake.
Grand Lake's newest destination for great fun is located just off the lake in Grove. At Cherokee Casino Grove, you'll experience exceptional food and outstanding service. Stop in to relax with your favorite drink and root for your team on the big screen. Experience live local music on the 1897 stage every weekend. Cherokee Casino Grove on Highway 59 at East 250 Road. It's the most fun you'll have off the water.
At Rogers State University, we keep things personal.
It all starts here.
We make sure our graduates get the most out of their education.
RSU has campuses in Claremore, Bartlesville, and Pryor, with on-campus housing and a wide variety of programs to suit your needs.
It all starts here.
Rogers State University.
Every day, the employees of the Grand River Dam Authority strive for excellence by focusing on the 5 E's: employees, electricity, environmental stewardship, economic development, and efficiency. We do this by producing low-cost, reliable electricity that touches 75 of the 77 counties in the state. At no cost to the taxpayers, we also manage 70,000 surface acres of lakes and the scenic Illinois River. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity for Oklahoma.
Welcome back to Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake, presented by Cherokee Grove Casino.
Hi, and welcome back. Each year, nearly $300 million worth of lobster is harvested in the U.S., and we do our very best to eat as much of it as possible, all in the name of charity. Since 2009, the Grove Rotary Club has raised over $1 million in the tastiest of ways to support local charities and community organizations.
Grove Rotary was founded back in 1947, so it's been in the community for quite a long time. When we started doing this Lobsterfest in 2010, we found out there was a real need in the community for nonprofits that need help financially. And so we said, you know, let's do this. Let's give 100% of the proceeds back to the community. So we give them back through our charitable grants, and we give them back through our scholarship program. In the 10 years that we've been doing this, we have given about a little over $750,000 back to the community. We give back to the Boy Scouts, we give back to the schools, we give back to the Community Crisis Center. The list goes on. There's probably about 80 different organizations that have benefited from Lobsterfest each year. So one of the fellow Rotarians had seen a club in Lake Oswego, Oregon, and they did this thing called Lobsterfest. And we said, hey, let's get some information from them. So we contacted the Rotary Club in Lake Oswego, and they gave us a step-by-step process of what we needed to do to be able to make our event successful. So we said, we live on a lake. Lobsters, it's just, you know, that's what we do. We can find lobsters in the lake. No, we can't. So we contacted the people back in Lake Oswego, and they said, you need to talk to Grantham Brothers in Rockport, Maine. So we contacted them about the lobsters. And from that point on, it's history. We've been doing this now, I think this is our 10th year that we've been doing it. We also learned the first year, this was very, very important. We cook them all ourselves on site on beds of coals. It gets really hot. We had several Rotarians we weren't sure were gonna make it that year. So the next year what we did is we enlisted the Grove High School football team to come out. So this is like part of their one-a-days in the summer, is to come out and stand over these hot coals for an hour, and we could not do it without them.
Oh my gosh!
So we usually fly in about 375 to 400 lobsters every year. They come in by Federal Express on Thursday night. We keep them up very nicely. We overnight them in the parking lot in a cooled trailer, air-conditioned trailer, so they will be ready for the next day for their cooking. So we had a couple of engineers in the club, and they went out and figured out how long it was going to take to get the coals up to the optimum temperature to be able to steam the lobsters. We put them in an aluminum pan with a secret amount of water with salt in it. We also put a hard-boiled egg in there, and what we found out, we had no idea why we were putting a hard-boiled egg in there until we found out that when the egg is cooked, that means your lobster's cooked. So if you really want to see if your lobster's cooked, you crack open the egg. If it's hard-boiled, solid on the inside, it's cooked. So that was one of the things that we didn't know. We also stick an ear of corn in there, so it's all steamed to perfection in 15 minutes. And we did not know how this was going to go over at all. And we decided our first year that we were going to give all of our proceeds to the Grand Lake Family YMCA. Well, it ended up we made a lot more money than what we thought. And so that year, the YMCA, they were very thankful for us. So the next year, what we did is our Rotary Club established a charitable giving committee. And what they did is now we have guidelines and everything that we do. And we actually disperse all of the proceeds from Lobsterfest back to the community. We get very messy with our lobsters. In fact, everybody wears a bib. So it's not one of these fashion statements when you go to Lobsterfest. You want to be comfortable, you need to wear a bib all night. So don't get dressed up. Wear flip-flops, wear shorts, wear your lobster shirts. Everything will be good. Back when we started our Lobsterfest in 2010, we had 80 members. Today, we boast 180 members. So we've grown exponentially since the onset of Lobsterfest. And Lobsterfest has helped us to be able to grow our club because people in the community see what Rotary does. But we're just ordinary people that come together to do extraordinary things. We see the need and we take the lead.
I hope you'll join me and my fellow Rotarians at Lobsterfest for a fabulous feast and a fun night of philanthropy. Well, that's it for this edition of Mid-America's Living Grand on Grand Lake. I'm Christy Wallace. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.
Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is presented by Cherokee Grove Casino and made possible by
Orchids is a premier manufacturer of private label tissue towel and napkins. If you've purchased private label tissue towel or napkins, there's a very, very good chance that it came from this facility. We went from being a regional player in our game to being a national distributor now, and we're very, very proud of that fact. The employees here at Orchids are great. They provide us the best resource that we could ask for. We've got a lot of honest, hardworking people that really help us, progress as a company. Being inside the Mid-America Industrial Park is a huge advantage to a company like ours because there's a lot of resources that come with it. There's a lot of collaboration between the companies that reside here in the park. For those younger folks that are interested in a career, Orchids is a great place for them to look at. We provide great benefits, we provide a future, we provide opportunities.
Also by
every day, the employees of the Grand River Dam Authority strive for excellence by focusing on the 5 E's: employees, electricity, environmental stewardship, economic development, and efficiency. We do this by producing low-cost, reliable electricity that touches 75 of the 77 counties in the state. At no cost to the taxpayers, we also manage 70,000 surface acres of lakes and the scenic Illinois River. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity for Oklahoma.
Plus by
I had the drive to boost my earning power.
I was driven to be more competitive in the job market.
Finishing my degree, that's what drives me.
If you left college without a degree, Reach Higher, Oklahoma's degree completion program, can change your life. You get affordable tuition, flexible class schedules with online options, and a degree from a state university.
I was driven to earn my diploma.
And I did it.
Apply today at reachhigheroklahoma.org. Let your drive drive you.
And by viewers and members like you.